and welcome to Popcorn and Joysticks. This is episode 7 of our regular podcast where we talk about movies, games, TV, all those sorts of things that we've been enjoying and the new stuff that is happening in those industries.
Yes.
My name is Theo. I am joined today by James.
Hello.
And Holly.
Hello.
So yeah, it's going to be a good show. We've got a lot to talk about. We've got Avatar 2 trailer stuff to talk about. We've got some new games that are releasing exclusively on current gen. But first, we're going to jump into...
Should we just point out that we've just come off the back of a very frantic video?
No.
So if we seem a little bit worn out, and our voices are worn out, I don't know.
We've been playing a bit of... I mean, we'll jump ahead a bit. Maybe we'll start with that this week. Maybe we'll start with what we have been playing. So most recently...
I was just going to say, is that why we're all like worn out?
You wanted to just put the caveat in there as like, why did we look so rough today?
Yeah, we haven't been playing Switch Sports because after the last podcast, we just come off the back of playing the new Switch Sports.
That's true.
So we were all like hot and sweaty.
Made us realise we probably should go to the gym more, right?
Yes.
Or play more Switch Sports.
Or play more Switch Sports, yeah. But no, today me and Theo have just come off the back of playing. We gonna say?
Yeah, why not?
Okay,
yeah,
we've Theo's introduced me to Cuphead, which we actually have spoke about on the podcast back along. You played
talked about the TV show, I think.
Yeah, then we obviously went into about the TV show and you kind of really enjoyed it. And I've never really delved into Cuphead, the world of Cuphead. So
I avoid it.
Holly has avoided it as well.
I have rage issues with games like that.
And you dodged today's session
I did.
as well, didn't
Made
you?
my excuses.
You dodged
I've
better than I
I've got
dodged.
work to do.
You dodged the game better than I dodged in the game because I was absolutely terrible. Never played it before, and Theo decided to, thought it was a good idea to basically put me in a 2-player co-op game, show me the ropes, and we played for like an hour and a half.
Did you regret this, Theo? Was it just a nice?
Luckily.
I've never played it in co-op before.
Okay.
So it was a real like trial by fire because I know how I would play the game on my own. Like
And then you've got James
I've
wrecking
beaten
the
the
joint.
game, and then all of a sudden there's Mugman over here who's just like
Sucking his own straw,
sucking his own straw, getting in the way, making me think that I'm him. All the sort of like mind tricks.
There was one hilarious bit actually where Theo died in it, and basically when you die, you turn into a ghost.
Right.
But the ghost is blue, and I was playing. Am I Mugman?
You're Mugman.
I was
yeah,
Mugman, and he's blue. So basically, Theo died and started floating off the screen, and I just assumed it was blue. It was me.
Oh.
So Theo was like, "Save me!" And I'm like, "I'm dead. You've got to save me!" And basically, my character was just getting wiped out, and it was pretty funny. It was very frantic.
I don't think we beat the boss on that run.
I don't think we did. If we had a death counter, I said we would have ran out of numbers.
Yeah.
On the video, you should put a death counter.
Yeah.
Total-
I'm editing that
total
one, so yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, it was basically very frantic, but very fun at the same time. It was very enjoyable. I know this game's been out for quite a few years now, but we thought it would be fun to kind of do a 2 guys, 1 Cuphead type video.
Yeah, because that's good for searches on the internet. 2 guys, 1 cup head. So
Moving on.
But that will be out soon. I assume that will be out after this podcast. So if you're listening to this, if you want to see those videos, make sure you subscribe to the JHT YouTube channel because we're going to have probably quite a few videos because it's taken us about 14 hours to get past 1 boss. So if you want to see me rage quit, and luckily I couldn't rage quit too badly because the controller was dead. And I had to have the controller plugged in to charge the controller whilst we were playing it. So I couldn't throw the controller.
James was like, if I throw the controller, it's like, we'd probably take the console with it.
Yeah. I was looking at the
behaviour.
window thinking this is going to turn into a frisbee in a minute, but it didn't.
Well done.
So, I mean, that's one thing that we've played recently. One thing on the complete opposite spectrum to this as well, which is actually a new release on PlayStation at least, is Unpacking. So I bought Unpacking this week because I felt like I've been playing a lot of harder games recently. I have been playing a bit of Cuphead on my own. I've also been tackling all of the like optional bosses in Kingdom Hearts 2 and Bloodborne.
Right.
I've finally reached 100% complete in Bloodborne. So I've done all the bosses.
Wow.
Got
You're
the platinum.
not human, are you?
No, not at all. No. Especially, I mean, spoilers for the end of Bloodborne, not human. But but yeah, I basically wanted something that I could like put on and chill out to after I've been fighting these bosses.
Well, me and Hollie bought a house 3 years ago, and we're still unpacking.
I was going to say, I just
it's not
need
easy.
to go into the spare room and unpack.
No, yeah, I totally get it because like if moving was this easy and this much fun, everyone would just constantly be moving. We'd be
It's
nomadic
like the worst
people.
thing you can possibly do is move house, and
Yeah.
there's a game about it.
But do you two know anything about unpacking? Have you seen anything?
I thought we played. Did we not play
No,
it?
that was like the... No.
I don't know.
This is a
What
different
game
one.
was it? The moving. What was the moving one?
Oh, you're thinking of moving out.
Oh, I'm thinking of moving out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not that one.
Not that one.
No, so Unpacking, it recently won the EE Game of the Year award at the BAFTAs.
Okay.
But that's different to the best game of the year. But basically, it tells the story of a female protagonist, I guess, who you don't see, who you kind of control. And the game is set up so it's all really beautiful pixel art, but you just have like a semi-furnished room with loads of cardboard boxes in. And you click on the box and little items from her life come out and you have to place them into the room in the correct location. And there's a lot of like, it's not like this book has to go here and not like here. It's like books go on the bookshelf, they don't go like in the toilet sort of thing. So it's stuff like that. It's a little puzzly, but you see different stages of her life over each move. And so you see like her childhood, like cuddly toy that moves along with her, and over time it's slowly gotten more and more love. So it's like it's a little pink pig, and it starts off with like a little bow tie, and then the next time you see it the bow tie's gone, and the next time you move then like it might have like a little rip in it because it's just been like moved around, and it's like, but yeah, I've been playing that. It's really just like chilled and relaxed and cool. My favorite thing about it though is that, and I didn't know this prior to buying it, but once you complete the room, the level, the move, you can watch it back at like accelerated speed, at like double the speed.
That's cool.
And it's got the most satisfying like click noises. So it has all of those where like you put items onto a desk and it has like click, 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 click. And it's really satisfying to watch your moves back, and just strangely hilarious as well. So yeah, I've been playing
What's
that.
the kind of the premise of the game then? You just
Unpack
put
your
things
stuff
on a shelf.
Yeah, fundamentally.
Right.
But it'll be things like,
do you want to come to our house and
get no, because unless I can watch it back at double speed.
I mean, I'll film it.
We can add clicking sound
I
effects.
can turn it into a time lapse if you want.
Yeah, you may have got me on that one. But there's funny little things that you can do in there. So it's like there's a little mannequin, like those little wooden mannequins that you see from time to time. You can unpack that, and then like if you do something like a little puzzle with it, you can make it like dab. So there's just like a really nice it's a nice cozy kind of game, and it is also telling a story. So I haven't got too far into it yet because I'm trying to like pace it out because it's not the longest game. But yeah, I'm trying to pace it out, and I think that there's probably going to be a bit of an emotional because I'm starting to see the kind of relationships that are building in this person's life. So it's kind of like a hands-off kind of like, I don't know, almost like a biography of somebody.
Observational.
Yeah.
Observational.
It's like
thing.
an observational biography of this person who was starting to learn. So like it might start with like childhood bedroom and then move on to like they've gone to university. And so you can see like their dorm room, and then the next time it will be like a shared house because obviously they've finished university. So like when you unpack the boxes from university, like presumably when they've moved from university into the shared house, it will be like a certificate. So it shows that they've passed it. So it's just understanding this person's life and seeing the little clues and things. But there's loads of hidden little Easter eggs. Like you unpack a GameCube and you think, oh, that's cool, I put it on the GameCube shelf. But you can then interact with it and it will play a game.
Oh, nice.
So there's just lots of little things in there. Like
You say it's like a pixel art style?
Yeah. It's kind of shot in an isometric. So you see each room in an isometric angle, isometric viewpoint. But yeah, it's all really nicely animated, really nicely drawn pixel art. It's just got loads of character and charm in it, and I think on PSN it was like $15.99.
Okay.
So it's not breaking the bank.
Yeah.
It's not testing anyone's like
Good chill-out
patience
game.
with it. It's a really nice chill out game. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. And I think that's the only thing I've been playing after like coming off the back end of Bloodborne.
We are still playing Horizon.
Yeah, we're still rocking Horizon. I did ask you yesterday how many hours have we put into it, because I feel
We
like
haven't
we've been
actually
playing
looked.
it like non-stop for months now.
It feels like it, although we don't play like a lot per day.
No, we might play like an hour.
And we
an
do
hour
get
or
a bit
two.
distracted.
Holly loves a side quest.
Yeah, I do. That's all I do
Who
is go
doesn't?
look
Who doesn't
for more
love a
side
side
quests.
quest?
Say like, yeah, saving.
James is like, can we do the
different
main
people.
quest? I'm like, no, I'm sure there's been side quests that we haven't like
We
ran
looked at-
errands for.
We looked at the
or-
main quest yesterday, and I think it was like meant to be. You need to be level 20 to carry on with the side with the main story. We're like level 45 or
Yeah,
something.
we are.
Yeah,
we-
because you've done everything else on the side.
Yeah.
I'm
no.
exactly the same. Be totally OP for the main boss.
yeah.
It's
Or
like
bosses
there's
or-
meant to be like this time limit, like you got to save the world like now. Everything's gonna. We're just like, hold on, just got to go
do
into
my
the desert.
groceries.
Yeah.
Get myself
Just
a
got to go back to the
fang
start.
tusk.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm collecting metal flowers now.
yeah. Hold on, just got to
Yeah.
find a black box.
Yeah.
Or just looking at the map and looking for any question mark.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm going to go here, and it's just a
It's just
flower.
nothing. Yeah,
But that's nice though, right?
Oh,
It's like-
yeah, I know, but that kind of means quite a lot when you're playing a game that you kind
You
of
want to?
favour that type of.
it's not just
Gameplay?
rushing through. Yeah,
Yeah, you're not just like, oh, come on, want to get it over and done with. It's like you want to spend more time and indulge in that world, exploring a bit more of like how do you traverse a mountain to get to this certain question mark. And,
Yeah.
or just
Like-
climb up the mountain to jump off and glide down.
and glide down. Yeah, like we kept finding things the other day. It just almost looks like a little pond, but actually it's like a sunken
Sunken
the sunk-
cavern.
yeah.
cavern, and you can swim for like ages and ages and ages. And
We
collect
did
all
get
of
very
the
lost,
green
actually.
chunks.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
very lost in one
Oh,
of
we
them.
did. We were going round in circles for ages. Got very frustrated. I didn't turn left at one point.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we just had to turn left. And
I
that
think
was
I
it.
know the exact sunken
Yeah.
cavern that you
It's
mean.
like a
We're
weird,
there for like 20
loop in
minutes.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, we're really enjoying it. And talking of Horizon, if you're watching the video version of this podcast,
Oh yeah.
you might be able to see on the shelf behind us right now, we've actually been lucky enough to get our hands on the Tallneck, the Lego Tallneck.
We have not built it yet.
It's been sold out literally everywhere, but Holly managed to find
I did.
a little independent toy shop. And we obviously bought it. We paid a little bit more than what it was on sale on like Amazon and places.
I think we basically just had to pay postage. It wasn't much more.
Yeah, it wasn't much
Yeah.
more, but it wasn't obviously sent to us or anything. This was, bought, and we're going to turn it into a really cool video,
Yeah.
and it will be on display in here as well. We're going to build some shelves and stuff, and build like quite a cool kind of set. Like this is constantly going to be an evolving space, like to create
Yes.
a podcast and create videos and stuff. So that's going to be like one of the first things that we're going to do to transform this space.
Yep.
And I'm very, very looking forward to building it because I can't really remember the last time I built Lego.
I know. I thought exactly the same when I ordered it. I was like, I can't actually quite wait
Yeah,
for this.
now I just keep going off and watching other Lego videos now because I've kind of like watched one. It's like, ooh,
It recommends
Lego,
it to
Lego
you.
videos now.
Yeah.
So we're not going to turn into a Lego channel, but in the future they
Well,
make
there's a
really
chance.
cool more
It's something
Lego
to build
stuff. Oh, that's it. We're done. Good
That's
night.
it. Thanks very much.
That's it. Studio's off.
Quit. Cut.
It's really great. I think it's really great that you support an independent toy shop as well by buying this. So like, I'm always like,
I
support
would like to name
independence.
them, but I really can't remember who is.
That's fine,
It's not
that's fine.
actually that local to here. I want to say it's somewhere more like Norfolk way, but I honestly can't remember.
But
I
it's
just did.
literally-
I just did the search online, and they came up on like about the 5th page, as in stock. I did all the big names, and they weren't in stock.
Yeah,
And then I just found this little toy shop. So I was like, done.
done. I'm
Done.
having one of those.
Yes,
I'm having
thanks.
me a Tallneck.
Exactly. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, it's meant to be. I found it. I've got to buy it.
That's good. There's actually one other thing which I did forget to mention earlier on that I have been playing, and it's kind of off the back end of a conversation we had on Twitter. I've never played Castlevania. We had Castlevania in
Okay. Yes.
in one of the Name That Game, or maybe we didn't actually. Maybe
No,
we
we
were
didn't
kind of,
actually. It
we didn't
was,
actually have it.
Bravery Default, I think,
Yes.
is very similar.
Yeah.
The section I chose.
I finally bought, like, I was just like, done, I'm having it. Much
Yep.
the same way as you're like, done, I'm having the Tallneck. I was
Yep.
like, done, I'm having Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night. So I've been playing a bit of Castlevania this
Enjoying
week.
it?
Yeah, really enjoying it. Like, it's really kind of, as someone who's never played them,
Okay,
like, it's
yeah.
a bit like,
I haven't either.
where do I begin with this? Like, what is going on? It's a bit out there.
Is it an RPG?
No, it's kind of, well, it has RPG elements.
Mm-hmm.
There's certainly like, there's leveling up, but it's essentially like a 2D side-scrolling
Mm-hmm.
action adventure RPG
Ish.
with vampires.
Oh my.
So yeah, it's quite cool. But yeah, like the intro is just like mad. But it's just great fun actually. Like, I've put in maybe about an hour so far. So like I'm playing that and then going to unpacking.
Good mix, vampires and unpacking.
I've never heard of
either.
Never heard of either. But that's why we have these conversations.
It's educational.
Listen to podcasts and watch different videos and stuff is to find out new things that you might not necessarily be into.
Have you heard of Hurdle?
I've heard of it, but I haven't played it. I'm too busy with Wordle and Worldle.
Oh, I don't know that one. That's amazing.
The one where there's obviously everyone is Wordle, and then there's Worldle where it just shows you a country.
Oh, okay.
And you have to guess the country, and then if you get it wrong, it shows you in what direction.
It shows when you say it shows you a country,
like just the outline.
Oh, okay.
Just the outline.
That's cool.
It sounds very easy, and then some of them you look at and you're like, no idea.
And then you realise there's a lot more countries in the world than you
actually name.
And then you'll get like an easy one, like Japan. You're like, I know this one.
It's my time to shine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I haven't done Hurdle.
So I've been playing two, but one has like resonated with me a lot more. So I was playing Sonic Hurdle, and basically they play like little snippets of like music from the Sonic games. But I quickly realised that we're not just talking about like the 4 Mega Drive games that I love so much, and it's across the whole like Sonic franchise, and I'm like, I don't know half of these.
No.
But the one that I'm really good at, and the one that I play every day, is Kingdom Hearts Hurdle. And yeah, you get like a couple of bars of like music, and I'm like, it's just like Wordle basically, where you get like those clues, and then you just have to guess and type it in, and then if you get it right, then you get to hear the whole track. And so there's lots of different hurdles.
The song?
Guessing the name of the song title. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the other thing, because I like own the soundtracks. I kind of have a bit of an insight on it. I think like some of the Sonic ones are just so insanely named. Like it's really difficult to guess them. But yeah, so we've been playing a bit of Hurdle as well.
Nice. There was another one called Framed, which doesn't follow the trend of the naming pattern. I think I showed this to you.
Yeah.
It shows you like a hint or like a frame from a film. And I got it one day, I literally got it in 2, and it was Scott Pilgrim, and I was so pleased with myself. I was sort of so clever. Never been able to do it since.
No, I've tried.
I watched a lot of films, and I just have no idea on so many of them.
I'm definitely jumping on that because I love the idea of that. I think that sounds great.
Each guess, you kind of like have a still image, a frame out of a film. You got to guess it. If you don't get it, then they'll give you another frame, which hopefully gives you more of a clue.
But sometimes I just don't even know where to start. Like, you won't know the first one. I'm like, I don't even know what to guess.
Like, where do you even begin? So you just have to throw anything in there to get the next frame or whatever. I have to admit, I haven't played it for
I tried
a few of them, and I don't think I've got really any of them right. There's quite a few films.
There is a lot of films,
There's a lot of films out there.
Yeah.
And it could be anything, basically.
Yeah. So that's mainly what we've been playing.
But I think we've been watching something. I've watched the Pentaverate.
Have you watched all of it?
I have watched all of the Pentaverate. So 6 episodes.
Did you binge it all in one go?
I binged it over a weekend, which is pretty good for me because like I'm not usually a binger, because I usually like to like pace stuff out. And
As is James.
I'm going to throw it out there.
Before we get into that, in case anyone hasn't heard of the Pentaverate, should we contextualize what it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, the Pentaverate, if you haven't seen it or if you haven't heard it, is Netflix's new comedy from Mike Myers. So everyone knows Mike Myers as Wayne's World and Austin Powers, Love Guru. but basically his new 6-part comedy series where he kind of does the playing multiple characters.
He's playing 9, I think, isn't he?
Is that right?
I think it's 9 total.
I didn't count them all up, but there's a lot of Mike Myers in there, and each time you see one. I feel like
if you hadn't have told me that, I wouldn't have known. I am really bad at recognizing people.
Did you think he was in it like once?
Yeah.
Do you think he was just
Which one did you
Ken
think
Scarborough?
He was?
I don't know now, but I didn't realise he was.
Oh my gosh.
I'm really bad at recognizing people, and I hadn't actually clocked that.
Did you know that he plays multiple roles in Austin Powers?
I think so. But I haven't seen that for like 20 years or whenever it came out.
Right. Okay.
Anyway.
Because it's kind of that to the nth degree, isn't it? Like he plays like 3 or 4 roles across like, because you've got like Austin, Dr. Evil, Goldmember, and fat bastard.
Yeah.
So he plays maybe like 4 roles in Austin Powers, but you're saying he
He's
plays
probably-
9 in
I'm
this.
sure it's 9.
So even in the,
So,
we've
I mean,
only watched.
he plays 4 people on the Pentaverate, like as the members of the
Yeah.
Pentaverate. Then plus Ken, so that's 5 at least. And then he does. Yeah, I reckon that you're probably not right. Then there's the conspiracy guys.
I was going to say the conspiracy guy, yeah. So basically, we have watched, we didn't know that you were watching at the same time, but we actually randomly put on one episode the other day.
Yeah.
Then you messaged me and said, what do you want to talk about on the podcast? And you brought Pentaverate up.
Which we still didn't explain what the Pentaverate is.
Oh,
okay,
sorry. Yes,
yes.
carry on.
So it's a comedy about a secret society that is nice,
Yes.
is the premise around that. But there's obviously, with any secret society, there's conspiracies and intrigue and adventure. So it's basically one Canadian journalist's journey to expose and uncover the Pentaverate, isn't it? So
Yeah.
Mike Myers plays Ken Scarborough, who comes from Canada to go and expose the... Sorry. So he comes from Canada to expose the Pentaverate. That's it. Now
Okay.
you go.
So I was going to say that we watched one episode. You said that you wanted to talk about it on today's podcast, and you said, "Don't tell me what you thought about it." So now I've got the intrigue of basically guessing that you enjoyed it very much.
I enjoyed it a lot. I think it feels better now that I'm distanced from it. There were certain episodes where I'm like, I think I should turn this off. But I'm but I am a huge Mike Myers fan.
Yeah.
And like I loved him like when I first saw him on Saturday Night Live, and then obviously Wayne's World, and that's dating us a bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live in particular. But Saturday Night Live, Wayne's World, Austin Powers, love Guru. Basically, everything that he's done, I've actually really enjoyed seeing Mike Myers in, and I'm really pleased to see him back and doing some zany stuff. And it's not the sort of comedy that other people create, and that's good and bad.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of unique in a way. I wasn't overly fond of it.
So you've not watched all of it? You
Watched the first episode.
Okay, yeah.
Now, we did watch it probably when we shouldn't have. We were like super tired. We had like a really late night last week.
It was late, and it was like, well, let's not put an actual episode on. Let's just put something
Let's
easy
just put
watching
something.
on.
And I didn't have a clue. I didn't even know what it was about. I didn't even know it was Mike Myers or anything. I just literally
It came
was
up
like,
as recommended. And
oh,
you just went,
recommended.
yes.
It's brand new out. Hit play and was like, okay. Watched it. Didn't turn it off, but watched the whole episode.
There's an endorsement
But
for the trailer, isn't it? I watched it and didn't turn it off.
Fact.
I haven't gone back and watched more of them,
Yeah.
which is slightly kind of concerning in a way because I'm very much like you. Like I absolutely love like Mike Myers and I loved like Austin Powers and stuff. I felt like personally, I felt like this just didn't quite hit the mark for me. There was a lot of copy and pasted jokes from Austin Powers and stuff, which I was like, I probably would have laughed, but I know the punchline or I know the delivery and I know the people's names or the phrases of what the comedy is meant to be. But because it is almost like regurgitated from Austin Powers, I don't know. I just felt like it was a cheap joke or
Yeah. I get what you mean. I think from my point of view, it was quite nice. I think because we haven't seen him for a long time, it was quite nice to have some callbacks and the way that they're delivered. That because there's some very on the nose, like that's in Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Like they're always delivered with a little like tongue in cheek, wink to the camera.
Yeah,
sort
I
of
assumed
thing.
it would be, and I believe if I do watch more, which I probably will carry on watching it because they're not super long episodes; they're like half an hour.
Yeah,
or something
half an hour.
like that.
Yeah. It's nice. It's
It
brisk.
It will start to.
Grow on you.
Yeah, I think that kind of comedy you have to be prepared. Not prepared, but you know what I mean. You need to be
In the right mindset.
in the right frame of mind to be taken on this kind of almost slapsticky type comedy.
Well, like I said, I mean, there were some moments in it where I thought this is really quite rough. Like it's not some of it is not my sort of humor at all. But then the kind of actual central storyline, the intrigue around that, and it's a secret society. It's always going to have intrigue and, you know, conspiracies going on. I genuinely found that I wanted to know, and right up to the end, to the final episode, I'm like, I don't know how this is going to play out. And by that point, I was genuinely having a good time, and it was easy, and it wasn't like I think we spend a lot of our time being really overly critical about like art and media and entertainment.
I think that's the thing. I was quite sort of disappointed in a way because I think it was yesterday or a couple of days ago I saw on Twitter the kind of the reviews of it, and it's not getting good reviews.
I've not seen a single review of this.
I saw one news-ish kind of website which tweeted about it, and they
BBC,
not the BBC. I can't remember who it was now, but they pulled in a lot of reviews and Rotten Tomatoes score and all those different things, and basically they were obviously sort of cherry picking the phrasing of what they wanted to skew the article. Basically, they weren't very nice with it, which kind of did annoy me because in a world which is very kind of deep and heavy, and there's a lot of crap going on, basically, that a little bit of escapism like this shouldn't be kind of trodden on and kind of dragged through the mud.
Yeah, I think like when you actually look at the series as a whole, it has so much like in terms of its production. It's got some really great actors and actresses who pop up in it, and it's every episode opens with a dialogue from Jeremy Irons of all people, right? And he's not just like a one and done, and then they like use that same intro. That intro is different every single time, and Jeremy Irons does something different every single time. Like Jennifer Saunders turns up. You've got Keegan-Michael Key is in there. Ken Jeong. There's like some really good talent in there, and it's just. Like no one's expecting it to win awards, no one's expecting it to go out and do great things or change the world. It's a really kind of sweet little comedy about a Canadian journalist.
Do you think it's got
an aging journalist?
Do you think it's got repeatability though? Like Austin Powers, I feel like I don't know if it's just a generational thing, but that was like a repeatable film. Like when we were younger, it was we watched it a lot. If you went over like house parties or something, it was always a type of film which everyone enjoyed, everyone liked. It didn't really upset or offend many people, and most people could watch it. It's the same person, the same creator, the same kind of comedy. Do you think it's got that?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think because once you've seen it once, like the intrigue is gone and you know which way the story is going to go. It definitely has some moments that are like, oh yeah, that's really quite good and clever and funny and different or out there. Is it going to be one that I return to in the same way as I return to Wayne's World? Definitely not. No. Like I love Mike Myers, but it's at the bottom of like his. It's nearer the bottom than it is the top, I suppose, in terms of his repertoire. That's not to say it's necessarily bad, but it's just a different thing. And we live in a world now where there's so much to consume that it doesn't really matter. That I mean, if it means that he had a nice time making it and he's like, I want to make more stuff, then cool.
Why not?
And actually, like, sticking with it, and this isn't spoilers for the series or anything, but there's a really sweet, like, heartwarming scene that is like real world. It's a shot of like him in the real world, like when he was much younger. That like sort of tail ends the whole story, and it genuinely made me feel like, I'm so pleased you made this. Like,
well, that's good.
Yeah. So if it means that he does more stuff, then yes, please. I'd love to see more of him. That doesn't mean I want Wayne's World 3. Wayne's World 1 and 2 are perfect the way they are. I don't need a Matrix resurrection situation going on with my Wayne's World.
Which is incredible, I should point out.
Shall we move on?
Let's move on.
That was, So I was going to segue straight into then to the opposite of nice and calm and chilled out kind of watching.
Go on.
That me and Hollie have just finished 2 series.
Oh, neither were calm.
Neither of them were calm.
Neither were calm.
Both of them are very frantic and stressful. One more so than the other. We should probably.
Which is more stressful for you?
The more stressful one.
Yeah.
So we should probably point out that me and Hollie have finished 2 series. One of them is Ozark.
Yes.
And the other one is Vikings Valhalla.
Yes.
Which is something which we actually spoke about in the last podcast. Where we said we watched the first episode of it. You weren't too keen on it.
I have not gone back.
Theo's not gone back, but we thought Well, I like Vikings, and like we said last time, that Vikings on Amazon Prime was one of our favorite TV shows. Absolutely loved it. So I wanted to give this more of a chance to go back into it. And we finished it last night.
It's true, we did.
And I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I think because of Vikings on Prime was so good and so epic by whatever season they just finished with. And then it was now on Netflix, and it's technically gone back to like the first series. I was a bit, you can't sort of compare the two, the style, the budget. So I was like, you've got to go in with like a low
expectation.
That's the word, low expectation. And actually, I did enjoy it.
I did.
Some of it was a bit like, I don't know what, a bit cheesy, a bit. I think you even said a bit soap opera at times.
There was, I can't remember. There was like maybe episode 2 or 3. Just the way it was filmed and the styling of it just.
I don't know if they have different directors for each.
I'm not sure.
thing.
I haven't looked into
No,
it, there was a few bits, and I felt like, it felt like you're watching Neighbours or something.
And then they got over that, and then
Kylie
got really
Minogue pops
into.
up.
Yeah,
She could have, but no, I really enjoyed it. They left it on a big cliffhanger. I presume there's going to be another one.
Yeah,
and I'll probably watch it.
They did do quite well in kind of keeping you guessing towards the end. There's basically within it, there's multiple storylines of what's happening kind of in England and in Kattegat and in where else were they? I can't remember now. Denmark,
I think. Yeah, there was quite a few different places.
So there's the characters kind of travelled and went all over. So you kind of met new people. And I actually did I looked earlier that it is based on fact, but a few of the characters, I can't remember which ones now, are kind of an amalgamation of a few people in history.
I think that was similar to the other ones that they've done. So it's based on truth,
people,
and they've
a few people are kind of made up for the story's sake, but there's a few people, and I think one of them, which to be honest, I think was one of the coolest characters. I didn't really see him do much, but Captain Fortbeard was his name.
Yeah.
Captain Fortbeard.
That's not a real name.
Apparently he was a real person, but his character to me looked almost the most convincing.
Yes, I liked his
as
style.
opposed to Admiral Knife Mustache.
He would also have a cool style.
But no, Fortbeard just to me seemed like he was an
actual Viking.
Yeah, an actual Viking, where the others felt maybe a little bit kind of in costume, that they didn't feel. The actor didn't feel like they were actually the person. But for him, I thought he was really cool.
He was an actual Viking.
And I feel like I know what they're trying to do with like Freydis' character, which we obviously meet in the very first episode. I know what they're trying to do with her, but I don't know if it worked.
Yeah. No, I get that.
There's a few kind of characters and a few sort of storylines where it's like, I think is a good platform to build upon now.
Yeah.
And I hope that it's got kind of good reviews. We should have looked to see what it's kind of getting at the moment. But I feel like there will be more series. I don't know if there'll be like 8 series like there was of the original Vikings.
Yeah, but I think it's a good base to build on. So hopefully it only gets
better.
Yeah,
and I do really hope that they do more. I feel like I enjoyed it more than Last Kingdom. If I'm honest.
That one, I think we liked series 2 and 3, and was it? And 1 and 4 were just a bit...
Or the other way around. I can't remember. But we haven't seen the newest Last Kingdom, which again is another sort of Vikings series. That one to me just fell flat, I think. But we came off the back of Vikings, which we really enjoyed.
Yeah.
So maybe we will go and watch the next series of Last Kingdom, but I feel like this probably comes in on my Vikings ladder of Last Kingdom, then Vikings Valhalla, and then Vikings. I think it's sandwiched between the two.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But
that's not bad.
The other thing which we have watched was Ozark.
That was stressful.
Which is very stressful. I'm kind of glad that it's come to an end.
Stress levels can come down now.
The stress levels can come down. I really enjoyed Ozark. I think it's really quite incredible the way it's been put together. Just the characters, like how in depth you get with the characters and kind of how real it all feels as well. But I'm glad that they've put a full stop onto it now. Like there's an end. They're not just kind of running it out for
You
many
could
more
go
series.
with it
'Cause
forever.
They could have, because of the popularity of it, and obviously
Yeah.
people loved it. That to stop now is almost like you could have dragged it out for another few series
Yeah.
easily. But having like an ending to me is more impactful because it's like there,
It's got an end,
ta-da,
is it?
you know,
Yeah.
it's that is the end.
Yes.
And you're not kind of just gonna lose people and it's just gonna fizzle out.
Yeah, go out while it's strong.
Yeah,
Exactly,
and I
yeah.
feel like the ending. Obviously, I'm not going to speak about spoilers of the ending, but I don't think I was expecting some of the endings, but there's a few kind of twists and turns within it. I, in a way, wanted more, but in a way, what they did with it was really nice, and it ended.
Yeah, I
well.
think it's always tricky though. It's like with the whole Game of Thrones thing. I don't think anything that they could have done would have pleased people.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same as I don't think you can ever say we're going to end a series and everyone walks away happy and pleased with it. So I think it's not the best series, but you have to round it up somehow.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I think they did it well. But yeah,
You've not seen say Vikings then Ozark, have you?
No, I haven't. And there's a main reason for that, which is a bit silly, I admit. But I can't look at Jason Bateman without thinking of Michael Bluth.
Right.
So I tried watching it at one point and I love Arrested Development so much that I can only, and it's exactly the same. Anything I see him in, I just see
but
him
to be
as
honest,
Michael Bluth.
there are funny moments. Like he does, both him and Ruth. I don't think they're not laugh out loud like comedy, but some of the things they come out with are just. It's just his look when he just goes, mm-hmm. And it's just enough for just,
I
it's
think-
not meant to be
I
funny.
think
He's
it's-
got one of the best,
Yeah,
kind of
it's
like-
not meant to be funny, but it
Look,
is funny.
I think it's because it's him and it's got the comedy beat
yes.
to things of like delivery.
Yeah.
But it's not funny. It's pretty much the opposite of funny, but that makes it funny.
But I laughed
because
more
of-
at Ozark than I did at the Pentaverate.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's very true.
I'm not sure if that's
don't know if
says a lot
that's-
about my humour,
I was going to say, I don't know if that's a good thing to admit.
but it's true.
But no, it's very, very enjoyable.
Yeah, I'd
And if you
recommend it.
haven't watched Ozark, it's a definite recommend on our list.
And that's on Netflix.
Netflix.
Cool,
Yes.
excellent.
And it's nice that it's all out now that you could binge watch it.
You could
You
go
don't
watch
have to wait 3 months, 6 months for the new series or a year or whatever it was before that.
Yeah.
And it's not weekly anymore because it's all out.
It's all out. It's
there.
all done.
It's all done.
Cool. And normally at this point in the show, we'd be talking, it is all done. But because we've done everything in a bit of a reverse this week,
Okay.
that means that our normal news thing has been delayed,
Just like.
like Starfield and Redfall.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're now going to talk about the kind of bigger newsy stuff thing that doesn't necessarily pertain to what we've been up to this week. But yeah, so yesterday Microsoft revealed that Starfield from Bethesda Game Studios and Redfall have both been delayed into 2023. So
Early 23, did they say?
no.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard early.
I
So
thought I heard
it's
early.
hopefully going to be early 2023.
Right.
That's next Christmas then, isn't it?
It's hard to say. I think, the world at the moment is a bit of a weird place. So it's hard to say how things are going with game development. It's becoming more and more complex. Every single time we see a new game come out, it's just like, oh my God, it just looks. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the Unreal Engine stuff that's been pinging around this week of the train station where it genuinely looks like it's real. And it's like, that is going to make
crazy
a
now.
terrifying horror game. But basically, the complexities of modern game development is just making these projects, I guess, harder to predict when they're actually going to come out.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of it's going to be difficult for a lot of people who were really looking forward to playing those games this year. Personally, I wasn't really that keen on Redfall, which is the sort of kind of Left 4 Dead but with vampires kind of
Yeah.
premise. But Starfield was, billed as Fallout in space.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did look
And
good.
It looks really good. And Todd Howard, bless him, he put out there, he was like, we're going to launch this on 11/11/22. And you're not. And that's fair play to him for giving it that shot. I'm really pleased that they've delayed it to make it a better game, hopefully.
Yeah.
That's the thing, I'm never really too annoyed at delays because I'd much rather have a delayed game that is playable than a not delayed game that is just a nightmare.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think the main issue is they shouldn't announce dates until they're absolutely sure. Like, I'm okay with teasers. Like, Square Enix is as good at that, saying we've got a trailer, and then you don't see anything for 5 years. Yeah. I'm okay with that, but don't announce dates unless, obviously, due to the COVID pandemic, that was all different. I totally get that, but I think now we kind of need to just don't announce a date until you're kind of...
11/11/22 was kind of symbolic because it was 11 years after Skyrim, which obviously had that 11/11/11 date. Yeah. Which was pretty cool. And I think that's what they were going for. But yeah, you know, these things, like you said, it'd be much better that it comes out when it's ready.
Yes.
But what does that mean for people playing on Xbox this year? What have we got?
And it'll be, I don't know, it'll be interesting to see what they announce. What have they got for the Bethesda? What's going to be at the showing, if you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because obviously they're going to be probably pretty quiet about them too.
So we're just under a month away from the Xbox Bethesda game showcase, June the 12th. So we'll be sitting and watching that with bated breath and hoping that we get some good stuff coming out this year as well, because Microsoft have got a lot of studios now, and we haven't really seen a lot from any of them. And the ones that we have seen, they now have all been kind of pushed and they're further out. So I'm really like, if Xbox could release any game this year, what would you like to see later this year?
Oh man, I don't know.
New Gears.
New Gears done.
Even though they said they're not working on it.
What about? Are we going to see Forza Motorsport this year?
No.
Is that coming out at the end of this year?
Just out end of last year, wasn't it?
They don't do yearly ones.
So that was Horizon though. Forza Horizon. Forza Motorsport. Sorry,
I don't know. I don't know if that's in the works.
Yeah.
Probably is.
That's a thing. It's basically like a reboot, so it'll be Forza Motorsport. But is it going to land this year or not?
I think they're going to announce Fable remake.
Okay. So you think they're going to go for like the big...
I think they teased something about Fable.
Yeah.
We've got a trailer. We've got a teaser trailer for Fable.
And I think that's probably... Well, they'll probably make the mistake of giving it a date and then not sticking to it. But my mind's gone blank. I can't really think what I'm waiting for. I'm only waiting for Final Fantasy things, to be honest with you. I can't think of what I'm waiting for Xbox.
So hopefully we'll find out a bit more about Final Fantasy. Maybe if Sony do something in the summer.
I did see, I don't know how true it is. I just briefly saw it on Twitter this morning that people were sharing pictures of the people who do motion capture, cloud motion capture, in a mocap suit with two other people. And people were panicking. They're saying, is this really for part 2? Because surely you should be ahead of the mocap now. And then people were getting excited for part 3, and I'm thinking, there's no way they've thought about part 3. Come on, guys. No. So I don't know if that means that I don't really know anything about how do you make a video game in that sense. But I don't know if that means they're only just doing motion capture now, or if they have to have gone back because they missed a bit.
Is a bit earlier generally in the process.
That's what I thought. So I don't know. I haven't researched into any of it, but I did think, oh God, we're years away.
I mean, hopefully not. Maybe that is for like some planned DLC or something.
Maybe.
Or maybe that's for part 3. Maybe someone's just got a camera.
I'm okay with not getting my hopes up, and we don't see it till 2030. I'm trying not to get my hopes up.
So one game that we do know is actually going to land this year, because they've said it's definitely landing this year, and it's now got a new date.
It's bound to be.
It's bound to be, and you can pre-order it now, which is usually a good sign.
Yeah.
And they've finally shown off some gameplay footage of it. Is Gotham Knights, which is not connected necessarily to the Arkham games, but they've shown off some gameplay of Red Hood and Nightwing. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
No, it's passed me by, I'm afraid.
Okay, cool. So basically, it's a 4-player co-op set in Gotham as the Gotham Knights thing.
Yep, makes
where you've
sense.
got Red Hood, Nightwing, Batgirl, and Robin, basically. They've shown off some gameplay. It looks really nice. I'm not 100% certain I like the gameplay itself. Like, I was a big fan of the Arkham games. I thought that they were brilliant. They were really good. And some of those characters do appear in those games. And it's like, I'm not sure if it quite is hitting the mark for me.
Something's off.
Nightwing, for instance, obviously is Dick Grayson. He does a lot of like acrobatics and things. They've really gone to town on that. Like, the gameplay trailer that they've shown off is like, there's lots of spinning, lots of flips and stuff. Lots of people really enjoyed that. For me, I'm like, it does look a little bit like, if I was fighting crime, I might dial that down a little bit, use it when I need it, and not just like when I need to kind of take
Do your
3 steps
groceries
to the
and-
left. I do my groceries. I suppose Nightwing's got to eat, right?
We've all got to eat.
Do backflips and
Backflips.
twisty turns.
But I suppose, so the gameplay, it does look nice, but it has to, because now they've actually said that they're not doing a current gen version of this. So that means they're only releasing on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC.
So it needs to
Surely
look
this
very
is
shiny.
current gen.
So
We're
they've
kind of at the
stopped
crossover.
Yeah, I
We're
mean,
like current
get
gen
with the
is-
times.
Yeah,
We've
yeah.
got PS5,
Fine.
we've got Xbox
Yeah,
Series
yeah.
in the house. It's so
Yeah.
It's been in like a year and a half now.
yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind
That's
of 2
current
years.
gen.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Next
so
gen
many
is
people can't
6.
even. Oh yeah, so many people can't even get the PlayStation or an Xbox still.
so that was going to be my question to you. Is how do you feel about developers? Because they're not the only one actually. So EA have also announced that their Dead Space remake, which has now got a date of 27th of January 2023, is only going to be on current gen. So only PS5, Xbox Series, and PC.
Next gen.
Shut up. So how do we feel about
Well, I think-
developers moving away from last gen?
I think it needs to
PS4.
happen.
PS4.
I think it needs to happen. I think next year, hopefully this year they'll stop having the production delays or whatever the problem is. And I think next year, I think we should move on now because I think
We don't want to be held
I was
back.
going to say
the developers don't want to be held
Yes.
back.
for both platforms.
Yeah.
As soon as they can just develop for what we said, next gen, current gen, the PS5 and the
Yeah.
Xbox. As soon as they can develop just for those and not have to go back and do the PS4, I think we'll start to see really, really new
And
shiny
That's
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
That's when it should dramatically increase.
But obviously, we're probably a bit biased because we do have all of the consoles. If we
Yeah.
hadn't been able to get them,
Yeah.
we'll probably be like, no, please don't.
Would you rather have that broken last gen version of Cyberpunk, or would you wait to get a next gen console
Well,
to get and
Yeah,
play
it's a
it
good
as
point
it,
because
as it
we
works?
got Cyberpunk when it came out.
We did.
We played it for a bit and then we thought we'll wait for the next gen patch. So if a game was out, but it was only out on next gen consoles, yeah, I'd probably wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you see
I
other
don't want a
studios
broken.
where it's
I don't want a broken game.
I want
on
the
what
best
I'm
experience
playing,
I can
because if
get.
you've waited, I don't know, a couple of years for a specific game, and then you get your hands on it and it is broken.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
some studios have
Or not
managed
as
that
good.
transition a bit better, in my
Yeah.
opinion. You get your Guerrilla with Horizon Forbidden West, and say Insomniac with Spider-Man Miles Morales. Both launched across
Yeah.
both console generations and have been
Yeah.
pretty consistently good. If you look at the PS4 footage of Forbidden West, it still looks amazing.
Yeah.
But obviously you're just not getting the benefits of things like the SSD and the PS5 and stuff like that. So it's but it feels like we're starting to turn that corner of as more units come out.
Yeah.
Sony have
I
put
think
out
we do
this-
need to
Yeah.
start pushing on now.
Okay, that's cool. So, I mean, Sony have started to have revised their forecast for this year, which is their sales forecast for the number of units, which is dramatically increased from the previous year. So whether that indicates that they're kind of confident that the stock shortage of of chips is sort of
Hopefully.
kind of easing off a little bit, and it means more people can buy them because basically they're still in high demand.
Yeah.
These both Xbox and PlayStation, as soon as they hit store shelves, they're being sold.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we all three of us are very lucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We are lucky. I think it doesn't affect us.
I was going to say, whatever we say, we're a bit biased.
Yeah,
there,
that's
I think.
what I mean. Is
Because if you were
But
just
it-
sat here without a PlayStation.
but it does affect you in so much as that if resources and time is being taken away to develop for the previous gen.
Oh, yes, yeah. I would love them to push ahead with the PS5, please. Forget the PS4. But I'm saying that as someone with a PS5. If I was sat there or didn't have the money or have not been able to get one, you'll be like, oh, no, please don't forget about me. As if Final Fantasy Remake Part 2, that's probably, I think, going to come out just on the PS5. But could you imagine if you're one of those people who is a diehard fan and just can't get one?
Yeah.
I assume it'll all be solved by then because it will be out in 2030 and it will be on the PS6. But
And then it'll be last gen.
exactly, yes.
Cool. So one other thing that has come out, well, not really come out, but has been released to the world this week has been the Avatar 2 trailer.
Yes.
which was originally kind of exclusive to the Doctor Strange showings in theaters for like 5 days. And then it kind of got leaked online and they basically said, fine, everyone can watch it. Because I think the leaked version was obviously very bad, shaky,
Yeah.
handy cam sort of stuff that you used to see back in the 90s and 2000s. And now we've got a shiny 4K version of the trailer and it's done some numbers.
I'm quite surprised when you told me the numbers, which are
150 million views, or near enough, 150 million views in the first 24 hours, which beats the last Star Wars trailer drop, which would have been for Rise of Skywalker. So,
which is quite
That's
mad.
really
It's got
impressive.
that many views, and I didn't even know it was out.
I was just going to say, it somehow passed us by.
I don't know how we missed that the trailer's out.
because you love Avatar, right?
Yeah, I love those cats.
I mean, I think it looks awful. No, it looks like I can see why people. I think it'll be interesting to see how it translates into like ticket sales and like how it does at the box office. Because I think at this moment in time, 150 million people haven't spent any money to view this, and there's probably a lot of curiosity around what is this. You know, like it's taken such a long time.
150 million in 24 hours. How long's it been out now?
Probably 3 days, 2 or 3 days.
Just wonder what it'll be on now. Like, is that still going up at that speed? Shall I look?
have a quick look.
Oh, this is exciting.
No pressure.
Let me,
But yeah, I mean, it's very much like a scene setting kind of trailer. You know, like a lot of trailers nowadays, they kind of give you an overview of like what the story is, and they have little snippets of dialogue. There's a tiny little bit of that, but it's very much like, here's some beautiful landscapes and here's some underwater stuff, which I know James is really excited about.
That sounds like what I would prefer a trailer to be. I think so many trailers nowadays just give away too much.
Yeah.
You kind of just want an overall hint of here's what it's going to look like, and then you can make the decision. I don't want to see all the best bits, because then you've seen all the best bits.
Definitely. Like, I think if you're into this, I think if you like Avatar, I think you will really like this trailer, and probably your excitement for the Way of Water is going to go boop, all the way up.
Nice. What have we got?
I don't know, basically.
Is there lots of versions
There's
of it now?
lots of versions of it.
Oh.
There's things with like 15 million, 5.9 million.
It's just got a lot of views then.
It's had a...
But you said 150 million.
Yeah, it'll be the official one, whatever's on there.
I can't find an official one.
But anyway,
That's
it's
the trouble.
done
That's
the
the
numbers.
trouble now. It's like
There's a lot of
there's so many
versions.
re-uploads that how do you even keep track of the numbers anymore? But yes, after this, I will go and watch that trailer.
Yes.
So that's something for next time. Something to look forward to next time. James'
James
reaction.
reacts to the trailer.
We'll have a little video out of you just going, oh.
Looks right.
But that brings us to trivia time.
Yay.
So, as you may know, at the end of the show, we always play a bit of trivia time, and it's a multiple choice question where we pit James against Hollie to try and answer some trivia about games and movies and stuff. And usually, it's around something that we've talked about.
And usually
we're
we get
very
it wrong.
bad.
So it's currently 2-1 to James. So
Technically, you're winning.
Yeah.
I'm not playing in this. I'm the host. So the question for you both this time is,
Drum roll, please.
as I've been playing Unpacking, which I did mention,
You did.
won a BAFTA. Unpacking won a BAFTA in 2021. Well, which of the following games is not a BAFTA Best Game winner? Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you the names of 4 games, and one of them has not won a BAFTA for being the best game. Okay.
But the other 3 have.
But the other 3 have. So we have A, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. B, God of War. C, Portal 2. And D, Returnal.
Oh, Theo.
So Hollie, this is for you to draw level. James, this is for you to extend your lead.
Zelda. What was it again? Zelda, God of War.
Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, God of War, Portal 2,
God of War.
and Return. God of War 2018. So the most recent God of War.
Return.
The one with lots of boy shouts in it.
Boy. Returnal, and which was the third one?
Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
God of War.
Yes.
Portal 2. Returnal.
I want to say Returnal,
Interesting.
but
You've said it now.
I know that kind of was a very big sort of game and won lots of things when that came out. So now I'm wondering whether it's not, obviously. I'll have to stick with Returnal.
You're going with Returnal. Holly, what about you?
I'm going to go Portal 2.
You're going to go Portal 2. You are both wrong.
I told you Theo wins every time.
But the answer may surprise you because the only game on that list that has not won a BAFTA is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Really?
Yeah. So it was beaten that year by... I can't remember.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, so... Yeah, it stays 2-1 to James.
You're too good at this, Theo.
It's not about me.
You're making them too tricky.
It's not at all. I think that one's maybe the trickiest one because I think a lot of people would have said that Zelda Breath of the Wild
Would have.
would have won a BAFTA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Then
then
you say God of War, you're like, that probably would
Yeah,
have.
that would have, yeah.
And you
But
say
then-
Portal 2 and you go,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely
Well,
would
then
have won
any of them
something.
could have.
But that's why I thought Returnal, because Returnal is new. I don't know if it was like...
Returnal won the BAFTA last year.
Did it really?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Or for 2021. So I think it was announced recently.
But
so-
time's moving too fast, so I thought it was out this year.
I did actually type the date today and I did type 21.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
dear.
And then I was like, hang on, we're in May
Yeah.
of 22.
Oh, how did we get here?
Anyway.
Oh, our light's dying.
Whoa.
Party.
Good stuff.
On that note, that's time to end.
On that note, that is the end of
like,
Popcorn and
what the heck
Joysticks
is going
for this
on?
episode.
The radiation is leaking out of the fireplace.
Yeah.
We better go sort that out.
Thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you again next time. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Migraine maker over there.
I was like, what the heck is that?
Better. So